Hello. I always say I'm going to record more of these and then I just never do. So I'm going to try to, I know, I'm just going to stop saying it. Anyways, hi. Welcome back to my channel. My name is SimplyAretha or Aretha Graytrix. I'm an Indigenous filmmaker, content creator, and streamer. I am the co-leader of the Indigenous Alliance on Twitch, and I am also a member of multiple teams on Twitch, including the Four Directions, Nietzsche Clan, Cozy Guardians, Technicolor. I was going to call it Indigicolor. Technicolor. And I'm also part of guilds. So I am part of the Twitch Women's Guild and the Twitch Pride Guild. Yeah. Thought I would say that. Anyways, today's question was, what is today's question? Okay, I had to go quickly look it up. What about your culture are you excited to pass on to the next generation? Sorry, I was like, what was the question? Okay, anyways, I do have an answer for this one. Before I do that though, make sure you like and comment and subscribe. I am working on getting 500 subscribers on this channel and I'm more than halfway there. So thank you everyone who has followed me so far. Much appreciated. Thank you everyone who has commented, liked, or just interacted with our videos. I appreciate you so much. I have also been behind watching the other videos, but I'm doing my best to catch up, hopefully this weekend. But you can do it at any time. Go check out them out. And also, again, like, answer the questions. I think a lot of us have asked you to, like, ask questions like, who's your favorite content creator? You know, things like that. And we love to interact. I know I've been reading and responding to all the comments. So, yeah. What am I excited about? To be honest, okay. So, I don't know about you, and this might be something pretty common in a lot of cultures, but the way our language works, specifically my language, and a lot of Indigenous communities I think are very similar, is so we have words for like aunt, uncle, siblings, brother, sister, son, daughter, you know, things like that. And just to be clear, these aren't always attached to gender. They actually are more roles than anything. Just like being an aunt is a role in your community. But then you have things like your grandparents. And then you have like your great-grandmother, or you have your grandmother, your grandfather. But then you also have like your great-grandparents. And like that word is similar. It's the same word for if it's a great-grandmother, great-grandmother, great aunt. Like we don't have like great something. It's just great grandparent. And then same thing with like your children, your great grandchildren. There's no great grandson, great granddaughter. It's just great grandchild. And I was talking to someone one time who was telling me that like the actual word itself is in my language is jaban, which means like it's like a train. It's like the caboose or like the front of a train. Does that make sense? I don't know. He's explaining it to me anyways. So like your jaban is like your great grandparents or your great grandchildren. So I don't have a jaban. But the other thing is that like my grandparents' siblings aren't my great aunts and uncles. Like we don't do that. And even my grandparents, like they're not my, like my grandparents, like siblings, they're my grandparents. Like my grandma's sister is just my grandma. You know, my grandfather's brother is still my grandfather. My grandfather's sister is still my grandmother. You know what I mean? So there's no like distinction between great aunt, great uncle. It's just grandparents. So in saying that, I am a grandmother. I don't have any children, but my brother both my brothers have children, and my older brother is like 7 years older than me, and he has 3 kids, and his oldest daughter has 2 children now. And so when she had her baby, making my brother a grandfather, she made me a grandmother. So I have 2 grandchildren. And so here, that is my mama in that one photo. And next to her, and she's holding, is my grandson. And yeah, that is her Jaban. And she recently had a daughter, so now I have a granddaughter. So yeah, even though I have no children, I have nieces and nephews, and because those nieces and nephews had children, they made me a grandmother. It was hard to come up with because I was like in my I wasn't even 40 yet, and my niece made me a grandmother. I was like, oh, I'm so mad at her. I mean, jokingly, I was mad at her. But yes, so she made me a grandmother. And yeah, so now I have grandchildren. And also, like, the way our family systems work, we have like we have like friends, and a lot of my friends' children call me auntie. So I'm an auntie because that's a role. That's not really a family tie. It's also a role. So I am an auntie to many of my friends' children. So they call me auntie. And I call them my nieces and nephews, and I love them like my nieces and nephews. And is there a distinction between my siblings' children and my nieces and nephews? I mean, sure. I mean, I just probably spend more time with them than anything, but doesn't mean that my friends' children I don't care for and want to make sure that they're okay and would make sure their well-being is being looked after, So, and that is my role as an auntie. And sometimes, I meet people and I'm like, yeah, sometimes they need that familial tie or like some sort of person in their life to help support them and stuff. So I've definitely played the auntie role in a lot of people's lives. Sometimes you can also like adopt children, like not adopt them, but like take them on as like, hey, I'm gonna be your parent now. I haven't done that. I've been mostly an auntie role. And maybe one day I will, but I've never developed that relationship with someone to be a parent figure in their life. So yeah, but I have been an auntie. So I feel like those are the things that we need to develop more, and I'm excited to pass on to the next generation because it's important. Aunts and uncles, like, they have a very specific role in our communities, because sometimes there's things that maybe you just don't know how to ask your parents, or maybe you need someone outside of your parents to talk to. And that's the role of an auntie or an uncle, right? To go for advice, and it's also a trusted role within the parents because, like, there's so many different things. And I always say this all the time, but an adult should never ask you to keep a secret. It's for you to go to them. You know what I mean? And understanding that they have your best interest in mind. And if they need to, they will talk to your parents with you if you need them. So again, it's a very specific role that you play within your community that you create with your friends, with your aunts, your uncles, your grandparents, Yeah, I've definitely had a lot of grandparents and like adoptive parents myself outside of my parents as well, that I've been very close to and shared with. And it's because I know it's like that saying, it takes a village. It is. It's basically everyone plays a role within a community and the well-being of each other. And so we all look after one another. We all help look after one another. And we look after them by serving in these roles. So I'm hoping to teach that, and hopefully like more generations get to like learn and carry that on. I'm really excited for that to be passed on because I think it's very important. And I think we need to do it more. I think that's something we've definitely lost at one point, and not everyone though, but we need to bring it back. We need to solidify it more. We need to explain it more. And I think it's beautiful. Anyways, thank you for watching, and don't forget to check in tomorrow for the next video. And look at below. There's all the links to everyone who's involved. And check out the card, has all the information. And don't forget to give everyone a follow. And I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.